Ladies and gentlemen, track and field enthusiasts, welcome back to the DELCO Cross Country Podcast. This is the track and field version of the podcast. I've only made 2 bonus episodes, kind of teased a track and field introduction when it came to the cross country season. I can finally jump into it a little bit more in the indoor season. And I mean, we're at the end of the indoor season. We're at state championships. So welcome to a very special episode dedicated to celebrating the remarkable achievements of Delaware County's athletes at the 2025 PTFCA State Indoor Championship meet, which took place on Sunday, March the 2nd at Penn State University's multi-sport indoor facility in State College. Yes, that was a lot to say. I want to thank and welcome my new listeners, my new followers on Instagram and Twitter at DelcoXCPod. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the love. Make sure you give this a 5-star review. Make sure you leave a comment. Give us a nice review. Let us know how we're doing. You can always email me at delcoxc@gmail.com. And let's be honest, I wasn't going to do this podcast. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straightforward. That's how I am. That's how I've been through the Delco Cross Country Podcast. So I'm going to be straightforward. I wasn't going to do this. I really thought my preview would be enough. I really thought I could slide through without noticed. But I'll be honest, there's something that hit me during state championships and then after state championships. I thought this was going to be covered completely. I thought a three-peat from Episcopal Academy, a 3rd straight year of winning state championships, a runner-up out of Chester, state meet records. So meet records at the meet. Delco records broken, 3 of them by the girls that I know of. Don't know on the boys' end, but I know 3 girls' Delco records are broken. I'm like, well, Delco Times has this. They didn't. It's actually a complete lack of coverage from the Delco Times. And the lack of respect they really gave our athletes, not really understanding how big this meet really is. So I knew I had to put something together that was special for our Delco track and field athletes all together. I knew I had to do something. Plus, we had total crap commentary. They mispronounced the names of multiple teams, multiple athletes, multiple coaches throughout our live stream on Sunday, and it was really focused like the Delco athletes, the Delco teams, they got the bulk end of the mispronunciations. It annoyed me. Episcopal Academy was constantly mispronounced. Haverford, constantly mispronounced. Teams and athletes, constantly mispronounced by the commentary. Now, I'm not going to hate. Love the coverage. Love that Mile Split will go out there and have a live stream for 6 hours, and I sat through all 6 hours except during the 4x2 when I decided to go food shopping for my family. But I came back, I was watching that meet for most of the time, and they did a pretty decent job except for the mispronouncing of names and then not knowing where the meet was going to end up. Like, not knowing Episcopal had this meet wrapped after the high jump was crazy. So just want to bounce in, and like I said, I want to give the reason why I decided to do this podcast rather than just leave it be. You all deserve the respect. You all deserve this honor. And I wish I could dive into everybody who performed at state championships this weekend. I cannot. I'm going to primarily focus on the teams. I'm going to primarily focus on your state champions. And I'm going to primarily focus on your medalists. That's what I'm going to do. That's where this podcast is going to go. Or else I could tell you stories on stories and stories. And I wouldn't be able to go to bed on this Tuesday night. Because that is when I am recording this podcast, on Tuesday after state championships. Like I said, this is going to bounce around a little bit. I'm going to start by breaking down the teams of Episcopal and Chester, and then I'm going to focus on the state champions in races and then medal performances. So, of course, I have to start this with a 3-peat for the Episcopal boys. It was their 3rd consecutive PTFCA State Championship title, exemplifying teamwork and individual excellence. And let's be honest, probably one of the most thrilling victories overall. They had to do things in the sprints out of Abias Hunter, out of the distance medley relay, out of Eli Engelman on the distance end. They had to do things to make sure they could push to this top level overall as a team. They only edged State College by 3 points. And we found out that right before the final event, right before the 4x4, when neither State College nor Episcopal Academy had athletes in that race. It came down to the distance medley of Episcopal winning that race to put them up, to put them down just a little bit. But then you have Yaya Johnson, that is his nickname I found out over the weekend. Yaya Johnson dominating those field events, winning the high jump, which really pushed them over that 3-point edge and gave them a win just before the 4x4. And when the commentary noticed this, they were like, "Oh, this is going to come down to the 4x4. Let's see, let's see if Episcopal or State College are in there." Neither of them were, and I knew that. I broke this news on Twitter and Instagram right after the high jump finalized to say, "Hey, congratulations, Episcopal boys, for winning the 3rd straight championship." I know your coaches know how special this race is, this meet is, so congratulations. They were led by Bias Hunter, who was secured 5th place in the 200-meter dash with a time of 21:61. He earned a silver medal in the 400, clocking in a 48:32 in a great race there. Eli Engelman, he delivered a stellar performance in the mile, finishing 2nd with a time of 4:14:89. Eli was ranked a little bit lower in that race, and I said if Eli and the distance medley relay team could come together and pull this off in the preview, they're going to do something special, and they will end up winning state championships. Boom, there it was. Yaya Johnson, he was your ultimate dominator. All right, he dominated the high jump and the triple jump. One of my favorite pictures on Twitter is him with his 2 victory watches looking at the time at state championships. He showcased exceptional versatility in this race. And then, like I said, the distance medley relay, that EA team clinching the state championship in this event. They went out there, they didn't dominate the race, but they went and they had a tactical distance medley relay that really put this team over the edge. It was a collective effort with a narrow victory, like I said, edging out State College by just 3 points before that 4x4. On the girls' end, it was Chester's team performance that really delivered because they were not supposed to finish 2nd by this much. They were in the team hunt by the 4x4 versus Penn Charter. Chester's girls delivered just such an impressive performance. They finished 2nd overall, engaging in a fierce competition with Penn Charter, who showed that depth in those middle distance races, plus some transfers helped. Chester's athletes showcased that remarkable talent. They were led by Demir Allen, who was crowned the state champion in the 60-meter hurdles with a time of 8.50 seconds. She set a new DELCO record, breaking her own record. She was ranked 3rd entering the finals in this race and overcame a brief scare of a potential false start, which fortunately resulted only in a yellow card for the entire field, allowing everybody in that field to compete and secure her first individual state medal to my knowledge. Janasia Deary, another one who just performed. She started the day in the 400, finishing 2nd overall with a silver medal, going 56:38. She also finished 5th in the 200 with a time of 24:92 and had to come back in those relay teams because I know Demir and Janasia likely came back in the 4x2 and the 4x4. Nia Jeffers, she excelled in the high jump. She earned the runner-up position. She jumped 5 feet 5 inches for a silver medal. Their relay teams, Chester's 4x2, they finished 3rd overall with a time of 1:43:41, and their 4x400 meter relay team finished 5th, clocking in at 4.13. Going into our individual state champions, other than Demir Allen and Yaya Johnson, who put in such a tremendous day. You had 2 other state champions on top of Episcopal Academy's distance medley relay. I apologize. 2 others that dominated on the girls' end. Start with Olivia Cieslak. She dominated the mile from start to finish. She recorded the U.S. number 9 time overall, 4:45:98. She broke her own Delaware County indoor record. This also marked Olivia, the senior's first individual indoor state championship. She ran one race, was focused on that race, and dominated that race. Great job, and congratulations again to Olivia. Kendra Williamson, another one from Episcopal Academy. She delivered an outstanding performance in the 3,000 meters, so outstanding that she is currently up for PA Mile Splits Athlete of the Week. She set a meet record, shaving off 20 seconds of her personal best, and achieved the fourth fastest time in Pennsylvania history. This is also a Delaware County record, breaking her own record from earlier this year. Her tactical prowess enabled her to outperform two PIAA cross-country state champions. Kendra's only a sophomore and has a long way to go, a big history coming up. Joshua, on the notable Delaware County medalists throughout this, I'm going to go boys first and then girls. Joshua Dean from Academy Park, he went 5th place in the 60 meters with a time of 6.90 seconds. Jonathan Wirt from Garnet Valley, he finished 6th in the 200, clocking in at 21:70. Logan Maloney, he placed 5th in the 400 meters with a time of 48:69. Josh Sharp, here in the silver medal in the 800 meters, setting a new school record that I know of with a time of 1:51:65 in a thrilling 800. Joseph Garzio from Radnor, he went 4th overall. He led the race at one point and put his nose on the line, recorded a time of 1:52:51, finishing 4th overall. Mohammed Wadden Jr. from Sun Valley, he secured 5th overall in the 60-meter hurdles with a time of 7.88 seconds. Freshman James A. Hawkins Jr. from the Haverford School from Boys, he went 6th overall in the 60 hurdles with a time of 8.19 seconds. Garnet Valley's 4x200 relay team achieved 2nd overall with a time of 1:28:35. Haverford School for Boys 4x200 relay team went 4th overall. They went 1:29:95. Upper Darby's 4x400 meter relay, they finished 8th overall with a time of 3:24:25. Haverford's 4x800 meter relay team, they went 5th overall, recording a time of 7:56:35. Their distance medley relay team also medaled. They went 7th with a time of 10:26:57. Owen Lim from Radnor, he finished 8th in the long jump with a leap of 21 feet, 8.5 inches. And Jaden Brown of Ridley, he went 4th overall in the triple jump with a jump of 45 feet, 8.75 inches. On the girls' end, you had Avery McCrimmon from Garnet Valley. She went 7th overall in the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.80. Teammate Felicia Grimmelbein, she went 8th overall in the 60 with a time of 7.86 seconds. Janasia Deary from Chester went 5th overall in the 200 with a time of 24:92, and she earned silver in the 400 meters with a time of 56:38. Ava Cavanaugh from Episcopal Academy, she went 5th overall in the 800 meters with a time of 2:14.67. Chester's 4x200 team placed 3rd overall with a time of 1:43:41. Garnet Valley's 4x200 went 4th overall at 1:43:69. And Episcopal's 4x200 meter relay team went 8th overall at 1:44:55. Chester's 4x4, they went 5th overall with a time of 4:13. Garnet Valley's 4x4, they went 6th overall at 4:56. Episcopal's 4x4 team, they went 7th overall at 4:01:73. Nia Jeffers, as previously mentioned, of Chester, went 2nd overall in the high jump with a clearance of 5 feet, 5 inches. And Justine Rimple from Marple Newtown, she finished 8th overall in the high jump with a mark of 5 feet, 1 inch. My final thoughts on this podcast today: Delaware County athletes, they put on an absolute show at this year's PTFCA Indoor State Championships. Episcopal Academy's boys brought home another title with a clutch performance. Chester girls battled with the runner-up at the finish, and multiple DELCO athletes set records and made history. This meet proved what we already know. Delaware County is a powerhouse in Pennsylvania track and field, from state champions to record breakers to athletes earning their state medals, some of them first. This was a meet to remember. That's going to wrap up today's track and field version of the DELCO Cross Country Podcast. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you tune in for more analysis and coverage of DELCO potential track and field when we get to the outdoor season and DELCO cross country as I look to return for a third straight season. I hope you enjoyed this quick hitter. Like I said, make sure you like, share, subscribe. It is for the algorithm. I do not get paid to run this podcast. Did some research, recorded this podcast. There is no payment for this. This is all for the joy and the love of you athletes. So congratulations again. Great performances at PTFCA State Championships. Like I said already, this is Kevin Key. I'm signing off. But remember, you're heading into the Nationals. You're heading into the outdoor season officially. Make sure you get out there and move.